How are you today?
Amazing. Thank you, Ryan. How about you? What are we going to do today?
I got a couple ideas, but now kind of stuck. You were telling me how in Mexico, it's kind of the hot season right now. And I'm just imagining being hot in Mexico. It's a lovely place to be mentally. I can only imagine what it's like being physically.
It is. And I keep telling you guys to come over, but
One of these days.
Whenever you decide.
Yeah. Cool. So with the success of our last vibe coding, where we made a wellness app in 10 minutes, which was awesome. And it actually worked great. And maybe next week we'll double back and see if we can edit a little bit. But for me, kind of the fun part of vibe coding is like those first 5 or 6 prompts to get the idea into Genesis. So I thought we'd do a little more vibe coding. Today we'll do Lovable. Last time we did Replit, and they're kind of similar products, and maybe we'll see how this one goes.
Okay, let's find out.
Okay, so I'm coming in this time with an idea for a product, an app. And the principle of the app is, I'm doing these interviews and we're having a great time. And the problem is my attention span. So as I'm talking to folks, I'm talking to Fernanda and you're speaking, I'll have like an idea that pops up and I start thinking about the idea or like a follow-up question and I stop listening to what you're saying. So there's instances where people might be talking for a couple of minutes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what they just said. And it's kind of embarrassing,
It happens.
So what I was thinking is, what if there was like a podcast companion? And this would be an application for podcasts, but it could be application just for general conversation that will listen to the conversation and then give you kind of journalistic, like interesting questions you could ask to follow up what they're talking about. With the AI for Founders interviews, I really want to have like a lot of technical information and I want to learn about their business and the economics and mechanics of the business. But I really want to hear the stories because ultimately, like, I think we're pre-programmed to like want and appreciate stories. So like a good journalist is able to like listen to what they're saying and ask questions like, how did that make you feel? Can you remember a time in your life that you did X, Y, Z? And really kind of pull out those deeper stories. And that's how you get to like a much cooler conversation, in my opinion, with more emotional depth.
Right, totally.
Okay.
But it's hard doing both at the same time. So it sounds like a great idea.
Okay. It is hard. I'm sure some people are really good at it, but man, my attention span is so small that I can't like think about a question and listen at the same time. I don't know. Okay. So we'll do a new Lovable project, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Chat GPT 4.0 to help me with the prompt. So let's start with the prompt. I'm going to put in, I want to vibe code an app where the app listens to a podcast interview and recommends good follow-up questions. I'll put, please design me a prompt that thoroughly describes the application. Okay, let's see if that works. What that'll get me. Oh, you lost my video. Let me switch out my battery while this is thinking.
Yeah, the camera just turned off.
I'm on this camera life. I'm doing like 4 batteries a day. It's kind of insane.
That's a lot. How many like video hours do you spend?
Oh my gosh.
Every day?
Oh my gosh. Yesterday I was actually on Zoom calls for more than 6 hours. It was nuts.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And today's probably about 4.
It must be exhausting.
Yeah. It just makes yoga sweeter at the end of the day, Okay. Okay, so here's the prompt. It says, you're helping to design an AI-powered assistant for podcasters called Follow Up, an app that listens to a podcast interview in real time from a recording then recommends insightful, context-aware follow-up questions for the host to ask next. Perfect. This tool is especially useful for interview-based podcasts where spontaneity and deep, engaging conversation are key. So purpose, create a tool that elevates podcast interviews by offering follow-up questions that encourage deeper storytelling. Perfect. Clarity or challenge guests' claims. That's awesome. Surface unexplored tangents and so on. Inputs, an audio file or live audio stream. Perfect. Optional guest bio or topic outline. Outputs, 1 to 3 follow-up questions tailored to the current topic and tone. Question should include a short rationale why it's a good follow-up. Optionally, a vibe tag. For example, deep insight, pushback, humor, redirect, etc., etc. Okay. Is this the one thing I think I want it to do too is to work in real time? Okay, here it is. Real time or near real time processing, tech stack ideas. It's trying to put in OpenAI products here. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna copy this whole thing and go over here and create an app in Lovable. So let's go here. We're gonna go to my profile. And then how do I create a project? I guess I have to go back to the champ. Okay, so here it is. I'm just gonna throw it in here. Boom. I'm gonna hit drop it in there. So sometimes I've seen that it'll actually, if the prompt is too robust, it'll like kind of freak out a little bit. So we'll see if this is too much or how it's going to kind of bite this off.
Let's see. Based on your experience, is it too long, or you think you will be able to figure it out right away?
I don't know. We'll see. It's already spinning up a preview, so maybe it didn't give us an error. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's thinking about it. Cool. And I know the capabilities because the very first tool I vibe coded was a tool I thought of first like 8 years ago. Like a good buddy of mine, James Olander, he designed this product called the Roost Stand. And I helped him out with the Kickstarter. He did 2 Kickstarter launches, made about $1 million on the Kickstarter launch and shipped it. And he's doing millions of dollars of product sales a year. This guy has 50% margins and it's a one-man team. And what he designs are these really cool laptop stands. And I'll pull one. Let me grab one.
I think you've mentioned them before. I sort of remember that story, like not the story, but the computer stands.
Yeah, I talk about them all the time because I love James. Shout out to James. That's the show. But it's also just such an elegant product, you know? So basically you can adjust the height of your laptop and it breaks down to this. So brilliant product, brilliant guy. And years ago, we were thinking about, you know, kind of tangential product ideas because he's a product guy. So he's always coming up with stuff. And I was like, you know what would be cool? Would be kind of just like a value add where you could sell a software that just keeps an eye on your posture while you're working on your laptop. So just kind of like helps to give a little reminder that says like, oh, time to sit up straight. And so you sit up and then it helps you out. And I think I've talked about this app on the podcast before. So I always loved that idea, but it was always like, getting an MVP for a product like that might cost, $10,000, maybe more, So it was like, if you're just going to give it away, you probably shouldn't spend time to do it. Well, the first thing I come to Lovable with was exactly that thing. And it was literally within one prompt. It spit it out perfectly, that it would watch my posture and then give me percentages of time that I had a good posture, mediocre posture, or poor posture, So, so that really...
You need to send that over to me.
Yeah, I'll send you that one over. And, the fidelity and the how accurate it is, it's kind of hard because there's too much feedback. So it's like a subtle movement and it's like red, red, red. And you sit up straight and you're like, so. But I'm sure with time you could kind of toggle that to see how you could get it to go. So Anyway, shout to the roost dance. So let's see what is going on with Lovable right now. It's really thinking about this one.
And I have a question. Have you ever tried like working on two different vibe coding platforms at the same time and then see which one works better with the same prompt?
Yep. I did that with that posture app because, it's a part of like when you're choosing a tool, it's like, oh man, I don't want to choose the wrong one. It's kind of like a big investment, because I don't want to pay for all these subscriptions. That's the scariest thing about like the AI stuff is there's so many fun tools, but it's like, dude, I can't be shelling out $20 a month to all these platforms. So I got to choose one. So I did kind of the same thing, head to head, posture app. Bolt was cool, totally worked. It was great. And Lovable, totally cool. And it was great, but it looked a little prettier. So I just went with the one that like the UI UX was a little bit more attractive to me,
Yeah, that's good to know. Like for someone looking for a tool like this, to have the ups and downs of each one.
Yeah, totally. All right. So this is still thinking about it. Now the suspense is mounting. Like what's it going to be? It's really thinking about it, But
I don't remember it last time we spent so much time waiting for it to throw the first preview.
Yeah, I don't think it did. I don't think it took so long. This one, I'm not sure. I mean, we could maybe refresh in a minute and see if it stopped. I mean, it's still thinking about it, but also, this is kind of interesting too with AI in general. Okay. Wasn't able to acquire lock timeout. Dismiss. Let's see what this does. What? Welcome to your blank app. All right. Well. Oh, wait. It's cooking.
We broke it.
It's cooking. Oh, cool. Your AI. Okay.
There you have it.
Here it is. Follow up. Your AI-powered podcast co-host that listens and suggests brilliant follow-up questions in real time. Real-time analysis. Listens to your conversation and generates contextual relevant questions. Personalized style. Adapts to your hosting style and the conversation's tone. Deeper interviews. Helps you uncover insights and stories you might otherwise miss. Cool. It's got a little 1, 2, 3 how it works. A little call to action and just a big button that says try it now. All right, let's see if it works. It should ask me for recording, which it just did. And now it's going. Okay, so now I guess we just talk. Let me turn up the speaker so I can hear you. So one thing that I think is like where this is hinting at is as we're becoming more bionic. Now, there's an argument that we already are bionic. I mean, just glasses alone, like we're using technology to augment our experience with the world. But the technology is getting closer and closer into our brains. So like AirPods and AirPods that translate, so if you were to speak to me in Spanish and I'd be like, Fernanda, it's too fast. I mean, I'm catching every third word, but the AirPods would actually translate it to me. So the idea that we're going, into this world of like kind of becoming androids, this one guy was, he tried to coin a phrase where, we're Homo sapiens. And so he was trying to coin the phrase Homo techno. And I know what he's trying to say, but also I remember house music in the 90s, and that's kind of Homo techno, more so than like this technology thing. That's a terrible joke. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to get it. All right.
It was bad, but it was like it was so bad it made me laugh. So
okay, good. Well, that's
you got points there. Yeah.
My dad joke pedigree. So, but the point is that we're going to have more and more augmented opportunities as compute gets higher, AI gets faster, and in real time, so that like our AirPods kind of become with us all time, where we're not just listening to music or podcasts or audiobooks or directions. Like now it can make different suggestions based on kind of your environment and what's going on. So maybe this is a step in that direction. Okay, so it's been recording. Now I'm going to hit stop. Now, one thing I'm going to put process audio. Now, one thing that I don't like is I don't want to have to hit record, stop, process. Like I want it to just like spit out like cool questions in real time. Okay. Okay, so wait a minute. What in the world? So this was the transcription it recorded. So tell me how you got started in the podcast industry. Well, it actually is an interesting story. I originally started finance in college, but I always had this passion for storytelling. Like, what? That's not what we do.
Maybe recorded a previous interview. I'm not sure. Doesn't sound like he was here.
It sounds like he was eavesdropping on somebody else's conversation. Okay, so it has suggested follow-up questions. What did you learn about yourself? Is there a specific moment during your travels that made you certain podcasting was the right path for you? That's cool. I like these little buttons. I mean, this is really pretty. But let's say this. Okay. We want, when I hit record, I want it to give recommendations in real time. So I don't have to, I guess, like process audio with a click. I want it to process in real time. Do you understand? Okay, so let's see if that works. And then I'm going to take this prompt, which was going to be prompt number 2, into GPT, and I'll say like, make this prompt more accurate. Let's see what that does. Okay, it says, yes, I understand. You want the application to start processing and generating follow-up questions automatically as soon as recording begins, rather than waiting for a separate processing step. Let's modify the audio uploader component to handle real-time processing. Okay, cool. So it gets it. And it also has this like area where we can upload independent media, which that could be a cool application, you know? We'll see what it does.
Yeah, that way, like probably you could do a little like, I'm not sure if research is the right word, but like, it would be audios of some interviews and then have some other questions prepared for further interviews with that same person or other podcast.
Yeah. I tried this tool today it's like it replaces a host, a podcast host. So you can give it a chunk of text or you can give it a URL and it will ask you questions about it. And it's like interviewing you. And I was like, oh, that could be cool. And I tried it and I was like, oh, it's not there yet. It's like kind of clunky and like didn't work so well. But
that must be so interesting.
It seemed kind of vibe coded, Okay, so let's see if this will work this time. Okay, so now we're talking and it's definitely doing stuff in real time. It's kind of twitchy. Okay, we need to give it some sauce. So, Fernanda, tell me about something exciting that you cooked this week.
This week, I haven't cooked that much really, but like yesterday, my lunch, which was a pretty good lunch, I made some wheat, some bulgur, sort of, I forgot the name of the salad. It's a parsley salad with bulgur.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Tabule, like that's how we call it here, but I'm pretty sure that's the name.
Okay.
So I made tabule. It's like cooked wheat with lots of parsley, red onion, cucumbers, tomatoes, lime juice, olive oil, and then just chicken. Chicken marinated with yogurt, salt, pepper, lime, a little bit of paprika. And that was it. It was a pretty simple lunch, but it was amazing.
Is it served hot or is it like a salad?
It's like a
Oh,
salad.
yeah. Nice.
Mhm.
That sounds amazing.
It was very nice.
I've been making something a little bit similar for my daughter for lunches, just with quinoa and like all the chopped up onions and peppers and stuff. She it's like one of the meals that she loves. So it's easy to do a big batch and then you've got it meal prep for the whole week. Okay.
Yeah, that's so easy. It's so convenient.
Okay, let's see what if this did anything. Generating. See,
I don't think so. It's been popping up the same
yeah,
questions.
it's really struggling. And it's like completely hallucinated this whole conversation that didn't exist at all,
Yeah.
which is really odd. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go back to GPT and be like, regenerate the prompt because Lovable is hallucinating a conversation that didn't exist and is making recommendations accordingly. I want it to listen to the actual mic input and make recommendations. Okay. Okay, so it's coming. Now, one thing I do like about this, I mean, it seems pretty like a sophisticated app to try and get in one or two prompts, but it does look really nice. I like this gradient and this dark kind of aesthetic, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for two prompts, it's looking pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, let me see if I'm going to put in this big prompt without really reviewing it and just see how it goes. Okay, let's see here. Now, one thing that I need to find out too is if the prompting is iterative. And I forget the name for this because you almost want to have the ability to, like, if you have prompt 1, 2, 3, and then you put in prompt 4, the sequence of the prompts is really important. So it would be cool, like, as you're iterating through prompts 1, 2, 3, 4, that your fourth prompt is actually iterating on the first prompt as opposed to chaining them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because remember last time you were trying to go back, that at some point something went wrong and you were trying to go back to the previous prompt, but it didn't work because it just works based on the last prompt that you're giving it.
Yeah. I know that seems like there has to be a workaround for that. There has to be they have to address that in some way because, if you have a history of prompting, it could be like it's not the problem with the four prompts, rather it's just the order, So if you could be like, okay, shuffle the order your prompts would be a fun button, and then it makes 4 first, 1 last, 2, 3, and see what the output is. I mean, one of the cool things about this is it spits it out so fast that you're not like wasting time just like iterating on like the prompt order sequence. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so this is a pretty significant update. It says, follow up, we'll listen to your conversation and provide suggestions. All analysis happens on what you actually say. No hallucinations or assumptions.
Please.
I guess,
Very specific.
I guess if they say it, it's true, right? It's so funny. It's like it like gets a little sassy. It's like, I'm not hallucinating, you're hallucinating. Okay, so let's see. So we hit the live recording. It changed the UI, and now it's hallucinating again.
It's still hallucinating, right? I mean, at least your algorithm is on point. Everything's podcast related. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's not actually transcribing though. That's what's interesting. And it's also so glitchy that it's not able to like catch. So it's giving the same way in a different way, but saying it's not hallucinating. So I want to say, I'm going to put, can you just give me the real time transcription only? We'll see how this goes. You know, and this is also, I think, kind of like, this is the stickiness of the product, is that it always feels like the perfect tool is one prompt away. You know?
yeah.
Okay, here it goes. I'll clarify the current implementation of real-time transcription in the application. Currently, the real-time transcription is simulated using mock data. What? The implementation uses an interval that incrementally adds transcription segments every 3 seconds, mimicking a lot. Yeah, we don't want that. This is currently a mock implementation. To create a true real-time transcription, you need to integrate live speech-to-text API. Okay, like Whisper, AssemblyAI, DeepGram, stream audio chunks from the microphone, process those chunks in real time, update the, okay, so it's saying we need another tool, and it's asking if I want help, and I say yes. Which is the best choice with a free trial option? Okay, so maybe a part of like the standardized prompt schedule should be, if you're deviating at all due to like some kind of API constraints, let me know in the beginning, because we kind of just, then we wasted 10 minutes trying to figure out why it's not working.
Yeah, that would be a very nice addition.
Yeah, okay, so this is saying AssemblyAI has a free trial with $10 credit. DeepGram has $200 in free credit. OpenAI Whisper is free open source model. It can be self-hosted. It requires more setup, might have higher latency. Okay. WebSocket, easy to implement, good free trial, clean API for real-time transcription. Well, that's cool. It's got built-in speaker diarization. I don't know what that is. Okay. So it gives us a good one. So I'm going to say yes, proceed with AssemblyAI. So now it's going to probably give instructions of, you have to go to that tool and go do it. But in the future, you know, once you have kind of AI agents that understand what you're doing, it can just like create a bolt-on for that tool, register within the app because it has your information. You know, we're going to like a fully customized world where like apps and websites won't necessarily need to exist. Just the API of the data structure and the utility of it. But you'll be able to fully skin it however you want things to look. Okay, look at this. Okay, it's creating integration with AssemblyAI's WebSocket API now. It's already got it. Let's see how it works. It's pretty crazy. I wonder if it really is like integrating to this WebSocket API.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Since we were doing this last time, did you have any other ideas for apps?
Actually, I didn't. But I'm finding like very funny, the recording's still going. Have you noticed? But the seconds are going like so slow. We're supposed to be having like 34 seconds of conversation.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if it's because it changes. Like it was at 33 just like a minute ago.
That's funny. I'll hit end here.
But it's glitching so much.
It's super. glitchy. So it's just giving you a look. Okay. Okay, so with a couple of clicks here, we can get it integrated, and I think I'll do this tonight. So sign up for Assembly AI. It tells you exactly how to get the API, replace WebSocket URL, and with the authenticated URL. So you just need to put in your API key. So I think I'll do it. Well, this is fun. It wasn't able to work, which is...
I need to know. I've been looking forward to hearing from you if it did work once you signed up in Assembly AI.
Yeah.
You need to keep us posted.
Once I get it, this seems like it would be really helpful. You know, I'm going to finish this up and see if I can get an MVP. And also because I do feel like it would just be the beginning. If you find traction with a tool like this, with a very specific cause, a very specific use case, right? So if the idea is ultimately like you want your robot whispering in your ear with the right thing to say at all times. Because if you're like me, you end up in the shower and you're reliving some conversation and you think of the perfect line that you should have said, but you didn't say it. Because you're just not witty in real time. So rather, this will give the opportunity to like, no, it'll tell you right in your ear. But before you get there, it's like, no, let's just find a very specific use case, and then we can open up applications once people get comfortable with it. This follow-up app might be just that.
It might. I think it could help a lot of people.
Nice. All right, Fernanda, I got a boogie. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Keep us posted.
I'll do it.
We need to know if it did work.
You got it. So let's talk about podcasts for a second. You're listening to one, which is awesome, by the way. Thank you so much. But have you ever thought about being a guest on a podcast? Like seriously, imagine sharing your story and your expertise and your business all on shows where your ideal customers are already listening. Kitcaster connects founders and entrepreneurs, professionals with podcasts that actually make sense for their brand. No pitching, no guessing. You just have great conversations on great shows. And the best part, Kitcaster handles everything. You just show up and bring your A game, Kitcaster does the rest. This is hands down one of the easiest ways to grow your personal brand and just create a wellspring of content for short video, for blog posts, for speaking engagements, for whatever. So if you've been thinking, yeah, I really need to step up my content game, go to kitcaster.com and apply today. Now back to the show.